Hey, everybody, welcome back. John Hayden at Greater Wilton Manors, and with me today, the one, the only friend of the show, friend of mine, Alexander Zenoz. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me, John. It's a privilege.
It's the middle of May, and our season is over, but season up north is just beginning. So you're not going to stay down here with heat and hurricanes. You're heading up north for the summer, right?
That's right. Me and the birds are heading north for the summer. So,
Provincetown.
yes, that's right. So, we'll be heading up to Provincetown with the new Crown and Anchor property, and we will be the resident band there. So, we'll be getting to play, with all kinds of wonderful people and talents and getting to really experience that Provincetown joy while we're up there.
And you're going to get some of that Wilton Manors joy because
Oh,
tons of
yeah.
the people here summer up there.
I'm counting on it. I'm really looking forward to getting to see them in a very different like summer environment, and we all take that in together.
But before you leave, we've still got business to take care of, right? You're not just leaving us high and dry. You've got one more show, one big see you this autumn farewell show coming up down in Hollywood, and that's on Thursday.
Yeah, you got that right. We're going to be at Triton Studios. That's right there in Hollywood, and me and the Birds have a little kind of farewell, but also release song show going on for you, which we'll talk more about later. But we're gonna be just some of the Birds there, new music, all new arrangements of the songs you love, but with a different style you haven't had the chance to listen to. Um, Touching on the original music that we released this past January with Different Love, and tasting a little bit of what's to come.
We talked in January. You did a show at Gray Box. What have you been doing since then? How's that music been received? How has it been developing?
I think the music has been received really well. I think the audiences that it's reached have really felt touched by its story and its meaning. And, it's really crazy having a single release like that for the first time and then getting to finally hear some of your audience's feedback of like, this reminded me of this relationship, or I'm really going through something right now. And this found me at a very significant time in my life. And I think that's all we can ask for as artists is to feel like something we've created has impacted somebody in a meaningful way,
Well, that sort of
if
leads us
not just
very
at least
well.
one level.
That leads us well into what I want to talk about next. Is you do have a new single coming out,
Yeah.
and there's a lot to it. There is a lot
Mhm.
to it. We talked about it a little bit before we started recording. Explain it to me like I'm five, and explain it to my viewers what this song means to you and where you were in life when you actually wrote it.
So this is probably one of the most important songs I feel out of the Bird's Eye View album, which is slowly releasing single by single throughout this coming year and next. We're starting with volume one, so that's what you guys are getting a chance to hear. But this one really it kickstarted everything. It's the oldest song in the making of the album. We talked about previously how that's why it's called Bird's Eye View, because a lot of these songs I wasn't able to create and finalize in their capacity without that bird's eye view of my life that I have now. So it's so crazy to see the beginning, the actual first chapter of everything, in comparison to where I am now, and it's kind of really great to see that time expansion for myself. You know, like if you've heard Different Love, to me, Different Love came shortly after when I wrote it, in the whole album. But there was this sense of like, this is the first song. Different Love's like a prologue. It kind of sets you up for the whole, like, this is where we're starting. This is how everything's kind of accumulated into this world, and kind of like a flashback before we come into the first chapter where, what can we do but just start picking up piece by piece again from where we are. And that's where Missing Piece, the new song, comes in, because it kind of uh, encapsulates that feeling of always feeling called to something, or always feeling there's something meant more for you out there, but you're just not quite on on in place with it. You know, you're on the precipice of where you want to be. And it's about finding that missing piece within yourself and just starting the journey piece by piece, you know, until you find that calling.
You gave me a sneak peek of the song. I would like to take a listen to it right now.
This path I've walked along, several thousand miles long. Every twist, every turn, each beginning of each dawn. Though it's soft and it's faint, I still hear her call my name. In my dream, she is my fate. I will follow her in faith. I'm just
okay, so this was written a while ago, like we talked about. What was it like emotionally today, traveling back to that time and reconnecting with that?
I think emotionally, there's a lot there that I got to rediscover when I wrote the song. I was living in California, experiencing homelessness at the time. I was living out of my car for a while there, and it was just me and a few of my belongings. I had some extended family that, you know, didn't really understand who I was. I was probably like very early 20s at this time, and they pretty much kicked me out of the house, packed my bags for me and kicked me out of the house, and I had nowhere to go in my little Toyota Camry, and I just was living out of there with some of my belongings, and I happened to have this cheap, like, $100 guitar, and in those moments I found music. I found myself right before that feeling like, wow, this world is so terrible, it's so awful, it's so, you know, cruel, and why can't people rise above this, and why can't people do this, and why can't they do that? And then I stopped myself for a second and all of that, and I thought, why does it have to be them, and why can't it be me? And I think, you know, that's propelled me through the entirety of my career and my charity work and my altruism and what I want to see in this world. Is I just wanted to be the person that I probably needed in times like that, you know, and I'm sure everyone can kind of understand what that feels like. So, you know, when I was able to pick up that guitar and start writing this song, it brought peace and meaning to me, you know, of something I was searching for while being broken at the same time. And you know, it's a little bit of a consistent theme in my earlier works, but I hope that I'm, you know, as it brings up feelings for me and has helped me heal, I hope that that can just as well find someone wherever they might be and help them heal.
I love it. I've always loved your story, and I always love hanging out with you. It's going to be a long, hot, boring summer down here without you, Alexander, but thank you so much. Thank you for the new music, and I can't wait to hear more. Like you said, you're going to be releasing songs over the rest of this year and then a part 2 next year, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh, I can't wait. Alexander, thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you for all you do for our community.
It's always a pleasure getting to just talk to you, and I hope to see you around.
Oh, you will. All right. Thank you, sir.